Archangel Michael is calling you right now. This is not a coincidence. If you are hearing these words, it means you have been chosen to receive a message that cannot wait. Time is running short, and the window for transformation is closing faster than most people realize. Every sign you've been ignoring, every whisper in your spirit that you've brushed aside, Archangel Michael has been trying to reach you. And now, with urgency in his voice, he declares, the time to act is now, before it's too late. This is not just about your future. It's about the choices you make today that will shape your destiny forever. It's about whether you step into your divine assignment or remain trapped in the illusions that hold you back. So stay with me until the very end, because what you are about to hear could be the turning point of your entire life. Archangel Michael's sword of truth is here to cut away the lies, to awaken your spirit, and to call you into action. The question is, will you listen, or will you let this final warning pass you by? Throughout history, Archangel Michael has appeared in moments of great transition, times when humanity stood at a crossroads, facing choices that would determine the direction of entire generations. Today, we are living in one of those pivotal moments. The world feels unstable, confusion is spreading, and many people are searching desperately for meaning in a time of chaos. Michael's urgent voice cuts through the noise to remind us that divine truth has not changed, even though the world is shifting. He speaks because the spiritual weight pressing upon humanity has reached a tipping point. If too many souls remain asleep, the path forward will grow darker. But if enough of us awaken and act, we can bring light into the very places where despair tries to reign. You might wonder why this urgency is so strong right now. The truth is, the signs are already visible everywhere: the breakdown of trust, the rise of fear-driven choices, the increase of disconnection from faith and spirit. These are not random occurrences, they are warnings. Archangel Michael sees beyond what our physical eyes can grasp, and his perspective allows him to understand the danger of delay. Procrastination is no longer harmless. Every moment spent in hesitation gives space for shadows to tighten their hold on our minds and our world. That is why his voice now carries such weight. He is shaking us from complacency, refusing to let us drift asleep while destiny calls. Michael's message is not one of despair, but of power. He does not come to frighten us into change, but to awaken the authority already placed within us by the divine. The urgency is not meant to crush you. It is meant to remind you that you were created for such a time as this. Too often, people wait for the right moment, believing that clarity, courage, or opportunity will simply appear. But Michael reminds us that the right moment is always now. Waiting for tomorrow only feeds the illusion that change will be easier later. The reality is, tomorrow is not promised, and transformation always begins in the present. His call is a direct invitation to act before the chance slips away. Imagine Michael standing with his sword of light, not as a symbol of fear but as a beacon of truth. His presence burns away excuses, delays, and distractions. He is not whispering anymore, he is declaring, loudly and unmistakably, that this is the hour for decision. The urgency in his message is not just for the world at large, it is personal. It is for you. The reason you are hearing this right now is because your spirit has been chosen to rise, to awaken, and to step into alignment with your divine purpose. Every heartbeat carries the rhythm of eternity, and Michael's words echo the same: do not wait. Act now, before it's too late. One of the most pressing parts of Archangel Michael's warning is this: the signs are already here, unfolding before our very eyes. Too often, humanity waits for something catastrophic, something unmistakable, before taking action. Yet the truth is, the warning signals have been present for years, quietly calling us to wake up. The rise of division among people, the erosion of compassion, and the growing hunger for material gain at the cost of spiritual balance, these are not coincidences. They are the ripples of a deeper spiritual imbalance that Michael urgently wants us to recognize. It's as if the alarm clock has been ringing, but many continue to sleep, convincing themselves there is more time. Michael's voice breaks through that illusion, declaring, the time to awaken is not tomorrow, it is now. When you look at the world around you, you can feel it, something is shifting. There is an undeniable heaviness in the air, a sense of urgency that can't quite be explained by politics, economics, or global events alone. People feel tired in their spirits, as though the constant noise of the world has drained their inner fire. This is exactly what the enemy of light desires, to keep humanity distracted, disconnected, and disempowered. Archangel Michael wants you to see that this exhaustion is not just physical, it is spiritual. It is the direct result of living in misalignment with the divine calling placed on your life. The sign is not only outside of you in world events, it is inside you. That restlessness you feel, that sense that something must change, that is Michael's warning manifesting within your very soul. The signs are not always dramatic. Sometimes they are subtle, woven into the fabric of your everyday experiences. Perhaps you've noticed patterns of negativity repeating in your life, cycles of fear, doubt, or toxic connections that seem impossible to break. These are not random. They are indicators that the spiritual atmosphere around you is pressing harder, urging you to choose differently before those cycles consume you entirely. Michael reminds us that awareness is the first step toward transformation. When you open your eyes to see these patterns for what they truly are, messages, signals, and divine nudges, you step into a place of responsibility. You can no longer pretend you didn't notice. You can no longer ignore the call to act. The ultimate sign that time is running out is the pull you feel right now while hearing this message. The fact that you are here, listening, engaging, and reflecting is itself evidence that Archangel Michael is reaching for you. Think about that for a moment. Out of billions of people on this earth, your spirit was drawn to these words in this exact moment. That is not coincidence. That is divine alignment. The clock is ticking, and Michael is asking you to open your heart to the signs around you and within you. These signals are not meant to fill you with dread but to empower you with clarity. You are being called to stop delaying, to stop waiting for perfect conditions, and to recognize that the presence of these signs means that your moment of action has already arrived. One of the most dangerous illusions that humanity faces is the idea that there will always be more time. People tell themselves, "I'll change tomorrow," or "I'll focus on my spiritual growth when life calms down." But the truth is, tomorrow is never promised. Spiritual procrastination is one of the greatest weapons that darkness uses to hold souls back from their divine purpose. By convincing you to wait, to postpone, to push aside what truly matters, it keeps you trapped in a cycle of inaction. Archangel Michael warns that delay is not neutral, it is destructive. Every day you postpone the calling of your soul, you allow the chains of fear, doubt, and distraction to grow tighter. This is why Michael's voice is urgent. There is no more time to waste, because waiting has already cost too much. Think about how easily life distracts us. The demands of work, family, bills, obligations, all of these can become excuses to put off the deeper work of aligning with your spiritual mission. Yet those excuses, no matter how valid they seem, become the very barriers that prevent you from stepping into freedom. The danger is not only in what you fail to do but also in what you lose by not doing it. Opportunities slip away, relationships deteriorate, inner peace fades, and the voice of your higher self grows faint. Procrastination numbs your spirit, making you believe you're safe in inaction when in reality, you're drifting further from your divine alignment. Michael makes it clear, every time you choose to delay, you choose stagnation over transformation. That choice has consequences. There is also a hidden cost to waiting, the burden of regret. Many souls, at the end of their journey, look back and see all the moments when they knew they were being called to change but chose not to act. They remember the inner tug that told them to walk away from destructive paths, but they ignored it. They recall the signs, the dreams, the synchronicities that tried to get their attention, yet they brushed them off. Regret is heavy because it is the realization that change was possible, but time was wasted. Archangel Michael's warning is a gift. It is meant to save you from that regret, to free you from carrying the unbearable weight of what ifs. He is urging you to understand that delaying your transformation is not harmless, it robs you of the life you were meant to live. When Michael says the time to act is now, he is not speaking in riddles, he is speaking truth. Waiting will not make things easier, it will only make the chains stronger. Delay allows fear to take deeper root, distractions to multiply, and opportunities to vanish. The danger is real. If you don't take the step you feel called to take, the chance may not come again. That is why Michael's warning carries such power. It is not about instilling fear, but about breaking you free from the illusion that you can wait forever. The moment is here, the calling is alive, and the decision is yours. Do not let procrastination steal what eternity has been preparing for you. Michael's voice is clear. The time to act is now, and if you hesitate, you risk losing the very blessings that have already been placed in your path. Fear is one of the most powerful tools used to keep you from stepping into your divine destiny. It disguises itself in many forms: fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, fear of losing control, and even fear of success. These fears may appear rational, but at their core, they are chains meant to bind your spirit. They whisper in your mind, convincing you to stay small, to avoid risks, to play it safe. Fear tells you that the unknown is dangerous, when in reality, it is the place where miracles are waiting. Archangel Michael warns that fear is not just an emotion, it is a spiritual weapon that keeps you trapped in cycles of hesitation. It robs you of your courage, it silences your inner voice, and it blinds you to the opportunities placed before you. The longer you bow to fear, the more it grows, feeding on your energy until you feel powerless to break free. Michael wants you to understand something profound: fear is not your natural state. You were not born to live in constant worry, anxiety, or dread. Fear is an intruder, a parasite that attaches itself to your mind and convinces you it belongs there. It clouds your perception and convinces you that comfort zones are safety zones, when in truth, they are prisons. Think of all the times fear stopped you from taking a leap, starting a dream, ending a toxic relationship, speaking your truth, or answering a higher calling. Each moment of hesitation was not just a missed opportunity, it was fear exerting control over your destiny. This is why Michael comes with his sword of light, to shatter the illusions that fear has built around you. His message is simple but urgent: fear does not define you, and it has no authority over your soul unless you give it power. The freeing power of Archangel Michael comes through courage. When you call upon him, you are not just asking for protection, you are asking for the strength to confront what has been holding you captive. Michael does not remove fear by making it vanish. Instead, he empowers you to rise above it. He reminds you that fear loses its grip the moment you choose to act despite it. Every brave step you take, no matter how small, sends fear retreating. Imagine Michael standing beside you, his radiant sword cutting through the dark webs of doubt, whispering, "You are stronger than what you fear. Step forward." He equips you with the courage to face the unknown, to walk into challenges with faith, and to know that you are never alone. Fear trembles when you realize that you carry divine light within you, and Michael is here to awaken that realization. Freedom from fear is not just about living without anxiety, it is about stepping into your full power. When fear no longer controls you, the path to your divine purpose opens wide. Suddenly, doors that seemed locked are revealed to be illusions. Opportunities that once looked impossible become achievable. Relationships shift, energy flows, and clarity returns. This is the life Michael is calling you toward, a life where you are guided not by fear, but by faith and divine alignment. His message is a call to action: do not let fear dictate your future. Stand with him, allow his light to break the chains, and walk forward with courage. Fear only rules where light has not been allowed in. The moment you invite Michael's presence, the shadows of fear begin to dissolve. This is how he frees you, not just by protecting you from external threats, but by empowering you to overcome the greatest battle of all, the one within. Archangel Michael reveals that we are not merely living through ordinary times, we are in the midst of an ongoing spiritual battle that affects every soul on earth. This battle is not fought with swords and shields but with choices, energies, and intentions. Darkness and light are constantly clashing, vying for influence over your mind, your heart, and your destiny. You can feel it in the heaviness of the world, in the confusion spreading across humanity, and in a constant push and pull between hope and despair. Michael's message is urgent: You are not a bystander in this war. Every decision you make, every word you speak, and every thought you entertain contributes to one side or the other. The battlefield is not out there, it is within you and around you, in your daily actions, your inner struggles, and your response to challenges. The forces of darkness thrive on fear, division, anger, and hopelessness. They feed on every moment you give in to doubt or despair. They whisper lies, making you believe you are powerless, unworthy, or destined to fail. And the more people succumb to these deceptions, the stronger the darkness appears to grow. But Michael reminds us that light is infinitely more powerful than shadow. The presence of even a single flame can break through the thickest darkness. The spiritual battle is not about equal strength, it is about awareness and courage. If humanity remembers its divine power, the darkness loses its grip. This is why the enemy works tirelessly to distract you, to keep you busy, numb, or lost in chaos, because if you awaken, you become unstoppable. Michael's call is clear: awaken to your role as a warrior of light. You are not meant to hide in the shadows or shrink back in fear. You were chosen to rise, to embody divine truth, and to shine so brightly that you push back the forces of despair. This does not mean living in constant conflict, it means carrying the light into every space you enter. It means choosing faith when fear surrounds you, love when hatred tempts you, forgiveness when anger consumes you. These choices are not small, they are powerful weapons in the spiritual war. Every act of compassion, every prayer, every moment of faith strengthens the side of light. And when you invite Michael into your life, you do not fight alone, you fight with the greatest protector of heaven by your side, guiding, shielding, and empowering you. Understand this: the spiritual battle is not something coming in the future, it is happening now, in this very moment. And Michael is calling you to recognize your place in it. You are not weak, you are not helpless, and you are not forgotten. You are a vital part of this divine plan. He asks you to stop living passively, to stop allowing fear and distraction to dull your light. Instead, take up your role as a beacon, as someone who stands boldly in truth, no matter how dark the world seems. This is not a fight you must dread, it is a mission you are honored to fulfill. Michael's words echo with urgency: the battle is here, but so am I. And together, we will not only withstand it, we will overcome. The question is, will you step into your role, or will you let the war rage around you without answering the call? Archangel Michael's warning is clear: time is not a luxury you can afford to waste. Many people live as though they will always have tomorrow to make changes, to heal relationships, to pursue their true purpose, or to draw closer to the divine. But Michael says this is a dangerous illusion. Every day you postpone your awakening, the forces of darkness tighten their grip, not just on your life, but on the world around you. The longer you remain undecided, drifting between light and shadow, the harder it becomes to reclaim your true path. This is why Michael insists that the time to act is now, not later. You are standing at a crossroads, and indecision itself is a choice. To hesitate is to give darkness the upper hand. Delaying your commitment to the light doesn't just affect you, it sends ripples into everything connected to you. Your family, your friends, your work, and even strangers are touched by your energy and choices. When you procrastinate in aligning yourself with your divine purpose, you withhold blessings, healing, and inspiration that others desperately need. Michael wants you to understand the weight of your role. You were not created by accident, you carry a piece of heaven within you that only you can express. Waiting until life feels convenient to step into your calling is a trap. Darkness thrives on delay, on the lie that you'll get to it someday. But someday is not guaranteed, what you do with this moment is what matters most. Michael urges you to reflect: what excuses are keeping you from stepping fully into the light? Is it fear of failure, fear of judgment, or the comfort of routine? These illusions create chains around your spirit, keeping you stuck in a cycle of waiting. Yet within you lies a power that is unlocked the moment you decide to act. Choosing your path doesn't mean you must have everything figured out. It means you surrender the illusion of control and allow the divine to guide your steps. It means saying yes to growth, even when the road ahead is uncertain. The act of choosing is itself a declaration of faith, and with faith, doors open that were once invisible. The universe responds to courage. Heaven strengthens those who commit. There is urgency in Michael's voice, but also incredible hope. He is not here to frighten you. He is here to remind you that you still have the power to shift your entire destiny. But the window of opportunity narrows each day you wait. Every moment is an invitation to align with the light, to awaken the divine purpose within you, and to reclaim the life heaven designed for you. Michael is calling you to stand boldly, to stop living as though you have unlimited time, and to embrace the mission that is uniquely yours. Choosing now is not just about avoiding regret, it is about igniting a future filled with strength, purpose, and divine blessing. The choice is yours, but the time is slipping away. One of the most dangerous tracks that Archangel Michael warns against is the illusion of safety within your comfort zone. On the surface, it feels secure, routines that you know, habits that don't challenge you, choices that require little risk. But Michael reveals that this so-called safety is not safety at all, it is stagnation. Darkness thrives in this illusion because it convinces you to trade growth for familiarity. When you stay in your comfort zone, you may avoid fear for a while, but you also avoid transformation. Heaven is calling you into expansion, yet fear whispers, "Stay where you are, it's too risky to step forward." Michael wants you to see that comfort can become a prison, and that prison slowly starves your soul. The comfort zone disguises itself as peace, but true peace cannot exist where growth is denied. In reality, comfort zones are controlled by fear, fear of the unknown, fear of failure, fear of rejection. This fear creates invisible walls around your destiny, walls that keep you from reaching the fullness of who you are. Every time you choose the familiar path over the courageous one, those walls grow taller. Michael calls this a spiritual trap, one designed to keep you asleep while time passes you by. He urges you to awaken and recognize that the path of least resistance rarely leads to the life heaven intended for you. Instead, it keeps you small, limited, and disconnected from your divine calling. Breaking free from this illusion requires courage, but courage does not mean the absence of fear. Courage means acting despite the fear, stepping out in faith because you trust that heaven will meet you halfway. Michael promises that when you take one step out of your comfort zone, the divine will open doors you could never have imagined. The discomfort you feel when leaving the familiar is not a sign you are on the wrong path, it is proof that growth is occurring. Transformation is always uncomfortable because it requires stretching, releasing, and moving beyond what no longer serves you. Michael is urging you to see discomfort not as danger, but as confirmation that you are walking into your divine purpose. The comfort zone may seem like a sanctuary, but in truth, it is a slow decay of your spirit. Michael calls you to rise above this illusion, to see that safety without growth is not safety at all, it is spiritual paralysis. Your destiny does not lie in repeating yesterday, it lies in embracing the unknown, trusting that heaven has gone before you to prepare the way. Do not let fear trick you into living half a life. You were created for more strength, more wisdom, more light. The walls of your comfort zone are fragile, they shatter the moment you choose faith over fear. Michael's message is clear: step out now, for only outside the comfort zone can you meet the future that was written for you. Archangel Michael warns that the greatest threats to your destiny are not always the obvious battles, but the subtle deceptions that creep into your life unnoticed. These are the small compromises, the quiet lies, the whispers that sound harmless but pull you away from your divine path. They often appear disguised as practicality, logic, or even kindness. "You're too busy to pray today," whispers one voice. "You're not strong enough to take that step yet," murmurs another. At first, these thoughts feel reasonable, even protective, but Michael reveals that they are threads of darkness woven into your mind to weaken your faith. Over time, these tiny deceptions accumulate until you find yourself far from the light, lost in a fog of self-doubt and hesitation. The danger of these deceptions lies in their subtlety. Unlike obvious temptations, they do not shock you into awareness, they lull you into sleep. They convince you that settling for less is wisdom, that shrinking your dreams is maturity, that avoiding risk is peace. But Michael shows that these are lies designed to rob you of the fullness of your calling. Every time you agree to these subtle voices, you give away a piece of your destiny. They rarely demand dramatic betrayal. Instead, they ask for small surrenders. One dream postponed, one prayer left unspoken, one act of courage delayed. Slowly, almost without noticing, you drift from the path heaven set for you. Michael urges you to sharpen your spiritual vision, to see beyond the disguise of these lies. They may come through people you trust, through systems that seem stable, even through your own reasoning mind. But he warns, not every thought that enters your mind belongs to you, and not every path that seems easy is meant for you. These deceptions are designed to keep you distracted until it is too late, until you have wasted years believing you were safe when in truth you were bound. Michael is calling you to test every thought, every influence, and every decision against the truth of your higher purpose. If it shrinks your light, it is not of heaven. If it makes you doubt your worth, it is not of heaven. The way to overcome these subtle deceptions is vigilance. You must become deeply intentional about what you allow into your heart and mind. Michael promises that if you call on him, he will reveal where the deceptions lie. He will give you clarity, stripping away the illusions so you can see truth as it is. Once you recognize the false whispers for what they are, they lose their power. The choice is then yours, to align with truth or continue living under deception. Michael's message is urgent: do not let the small lies steal years of your life. Reclaim your focus, guard your spirit, and walk boldly in the light of truth. Your destiny is too precious to be traded for illusions. Archangel Michael emphasizes that life is not merely a sequence of mundane events, it is a battlefield of energies, both visible and invisible. Every choice you make, every thought you entertain, and every emotion you allow has a ripple effect in this spiritual arena. Michael warns that many people are unaware they are actively participating in this battle. They go through life thinking only of survival, career, or comfort, completely oblivious to the spiritual forces that influence their reality. In this hidden war, the stakes are monumental: your spiritual alignment, your life purpose, and your very soul's growth. Ignoring it doesn't make it disappear, it only allows darkness to claim territory in your mind, heart, and soul. The battle Michael speaks of is subtle yet powerful. It manifests as persistent doubts, recurring fears, and temptations to abandon your highest self. These are not random struggles, they are the shadows attempting to deter you from stepping into your destiny. Each act of surrender to fear or doubt is a loss in this unseen conflict. Michael wants you to recognize that vigilance is a spiritual responsibility. Every prayer, every meditation, every act of courage strengthens your armor. Inaction, on the other hand, allows negative forces to encroach, quietly eroding your confidence, your clarity, and your connection to divine guidance. Michael reminds you that this battle is not about violence or external conflict, it is about mastery over yourself. It is about discerning truth from illusion, love from attachment, courage from complacency. The Archangel offers his sword, a symbol of protection and divine authority, not to fight others but to sever anything within or around you that obstructs your alignment with higher purpose. The struggle may feel internal, but it has cosmic significance. Every choice to act with integrity, to uphold faith, and to follow your soul's calling is a victory in this war. Conversely, yielding to procrastination, fear, or moral compromise allows darkness to claim influence over your life. Michael urges that this is the moment to awaken fully to the spiritual dimension of your existence. Ignoring the battle is no longer an auction. The longer you delay awareness, the more entrenched the shadows become. He offers guidance, strength, and protection, but he cannot fight for you without your conscious participation. You must recognize the patterns that limit you, release attachments that weaken you, and rise into your highest potential. The spiritual battle is not about punishment, it is about liberation. Those who heed Michael's call now position themselves to not only survive but thrive, aligning with their divine destiny and walking in a light that darkness cannot touch. Archangel Michael stresses that time is no longer a luxury you can take for granted. Every moment you hesitate, every delay in listening to your inner guidance, compounds the distance between you and your highest destiny. This urgency is not meant to instill fear but to awaken your consciousness to the fleeting nature of opportunities that align with your divine purpose. Life is moving at a speed you may not fully perceive, and the choices you make now will set the trajectory of your future in ways that are irreversible. Michael's message is clear: the window to act is narrow, and waiting for the perfect moment only allows uncertainty and doubt to strengthen their hold. The urgency Michael speaks of is tied to your spiritual evolution. Every day spent in indecision is a day where potential breakthroughs are delayed. You may feel stuck, as if life is moving without you, but Michael reassures that this feeling is a signal, a nudge from the divine to rise and take action. This is the time to shed complacency, to confront fears that have long kept you from fully stepping into your power. He reminds you that divine timing and human hesitation often collide, and it is in these moments that faith must be exercised. Ignoring this call may lead to missed opportunities, not just in material aspects but in spiritual awakening and soul alignment. Michael highlights that urgency does not mean recklessness. It means clarity, focus, and intentional action. The Archangel is guiding you to prioritize what matters most: your alignment, your purpose, and the ways you contribute positively to the world. Every distraction, every attachment that pulls you away from your calling, is magnified under the lens of divine urgency. By consciously choosing to act now, you demonstrate commitment to your highest self and to the guidance of higher realms. Inaction, conversely, allows inertia to set in, making it increasingly difficult to break free from cycles that no longer serve you. He further emphasizes that urgency is a catalyst for transformation. Feeling the weight of immediacy is a sign that your spirit is ready for elevation, that your higher self is demanding movement toward purpose. Michael assures you that divine support is present, but it requires your cooperation. The window to change, to heal, and to step into your destiny is open, but it will not remain so indefinitely. Your conscious engagement with this moment is what activates miracles, aligns your energy, and solidifies your path. This is the time to act decisively, to embrace courage over hesitation, and to step fully into the life you were divinely chosen to live. Archangel Michael reveals that many of the obstacles you face are not external, they are energetic chains, patterns, and attachments that have kept you from fully stepping into your power. These chains could be limiting beliefs, unresolved emotional trauma, or negative influences from your environment. They drain your energy, cloud your judgment, and subtly keep you from making the decisions that align with your true purpose. Michael's guidance reminds you that acknowledging these chains is the first step toward liberation. Awareness alone does not set you free, but it is the spark that illuminates the path toward action and transformation. These bindings may manifest in different ways: procrastination, self-doubt, recurring negative experiences, or fear of the unknown. Michael emphasizes that understanding the source of these limitations is crucial. You may feel trapped in situations that seem unchangeable, but these are often the very illusions that the Archangel wants you to see and transcend. By confronting these hidden constraints with courage and intention, you take the first steps toward breaking cycles that have repeated for years. Every small act of liberation, guided by divine insight, strengthens your capacity to act decisively and align with your higher purpose. Michael also reminds you that breaking free is a process. It requires patience, persistence, and divine guidance. It is not about forcing change, but about consciously choosing to release what no longer serves you. This might include ending toxic relationships, letting go of habits that sabotage your growth, or forgiving yourself and others to release emotional burdens. The Archangel emphasizes that each act of release is an act of empowerment. You are reclaiming your energy, your focus, and your ability to move forward with clarity. This liberation is not only for your benefit but for the benefit of those whose lives you influence through your presence and actions. As you actively work to break free from these chains, Michael assures that divine support is always available. The energy of the Archangel acts like a sword of light, cutting through the darkness of old patterns and illuminating your path with clarity and protection. You are being reminded that your life is too valuable to remain bound by fear, doubt, or indecision. Every step taken toward liberation, no matter how small, propels you closer to your divine potential. Michael urges you to trust in this process, to embrace courage over hesitation, and to act with intention, knowing that freedom is not just possible, it is your birthright. Archangel Michael is calling you to recognize the immense strength that lies within you, strength you may not have fully acknowledged before. This inner power is not something that you have to search for outside yourself, it is already a part of you. Whether you realize it or not, your soul carries with it the resilience of countless lifetimes, the wisdom of divine guidance, and the energy of the universe itself. Michael's message is clear: you have everything you need inside you to overcome any challenge, no matter how daunting it may appear. You are born with this power. It is time to stop doubting yourself and start trusting in your own abilities to navigate the storms ahead. The true nature of your strength is not how hard you can fight, but how deeply you can align with the divine energy that resides in your heart. This power is not just about being strong in the face of adversity, it is the quiet courage to make decisions that align with your highest purpose. It is the ability to trust your intuition, even when the world around you tries to cloud it. Michael reveals that this strength is your connection to the divine, your inner knowing, and the divine spark that ignites your passion and creativity. It is the drive that pushes you forward even when the odds are stacked against you. Archangel Michael urges you to embrace this power with humility and grace. Acknowledge it within yourself, without comparison to others. Your journey is unique, and your strength comes from within, fueled by your connection to the divine energy of the universe. Many times, you may have felt small or powerless in the face of life's challenges. You may have doubted your capacity to create lasting change or to face overwhelming situations. But Michael wants you to understand that true strength isn't about perfection or invincibility. It's about the ability to rise, again and again, no matter how many times you fall. It's about finding the courage to move forward with a heart full of faith, even when things seem impossible. By embracing your inner strength, you tap into an energy far greater than the limitations of your physical body. You align with the divine forces that are always available to support you. Through this alignment, you awaken your full potential and realize that nothing is truly out of your reach. Michael assures you that this inner power will guide you through whatever challenges lie ahead. The strength within you is not a fleeting resource, it is infinite. When you learn to tap into it, it becomes a wellspring of peace, clarity, and unshakable confidence. It is the force that helps you step into your purpose with courage and determination. Embracing this power means letting go of fear, self-doubt, and the belief that you are not enough. When you embrace the truth of your power, you become a magnet for miracles, drawing to you the opportunities, resources, and people who are meant to support your growth. Archangel Michael encourages you to embrace this divine strength, trusting that it will guide you in ways you have yet to fully understand. Archangel Michael's call is urgent. Now is the time to take action. No more waiting for the perfect moment or second-guessing your choices. This is the moment you've been preparing for, the moment the universe has been guiding you towards. Michael reminds you that while faith and intention are essential, they must be accompanied by inspired action. Simply wishing for change without moving forward is like planting a seed and waiting for it to grow without watering it. Action is the water, the sunlight, and the energy that nourish your intentions and bring them to life. Michael urges you to trust the nudges of your heart and the inspiration that arises within you, no matter how unconventional or unexpected. The time for hesitation has passed, and now is the time for bold, inspired steps that align with your soul's purpose. Taking inspired action is not about pushing yourself into something that feels forced or unnatural. It's about aligning with the divine flow of life, allowing the universe to guide your steps with clarity and confidence. Michael wants you to understand that inspired action doesn't always look like the grand, bold leaps we often imagine. It can come in subtle nudges, like a feeling to reach out to someone, start a new project, or make a change in your routine. Each step you take towards your dreams, no matter how small, is a significant movement toward fulfilling your purpose. Michael emphasizes that every action, no matter how seemingly insignificant, is part of the divine plan. By taking these steps, you show the universe your commitment to your own growth and to the transformation that is waiting to unfold. There will be moments when you feel uncertainty, doubt, or even fear when taking action. Michael wants to remind you that these feelings are natural, but they should not dictate your choices. Fear often arises when we step out of our comfort zone, but it is in these moments that growth occurs. Inspired action requires courage, courage to trust yourself, your intuition, and the divine guidance that is always available to you. When you feel fear, Michael encourages you to embrace it as a sign that you are moving in the right direction. The path of least resistance is often not the path of greatest reward. By stepping into your fears with confidence and faith, you align yourself with the divine flow of the universe, and you begin to experience the miracles that come from following your heart. Inspiration is the fuel that propels you forward, and action is the engine that drives your journey. Michael encourages you to take consistent, aligned steps every day, no matter how small they may seem. Each step brings you closer to your true purpose, and the energy you put into your actions is returned to you in the form of blessings, opportunities, and the clarity you need to move forward. Trust that when you act with faith and intention, the universe will respond. The doors you need to open will begin to appear, and the people you need to meet will cross your path. Your life will begin to shift in powerful ways, and soon you'll find yourself in alignment with a reality you may have once only dreamed of. Take action now, and watch as the universe supports you in ways you never imagined possible. One of the greatest challenges we face when pursuing our soul's purpose is the uncertainty of not knowing what comes next. Archangel Michael reminds us that faith doesn't require clear visibility of the entire journey, it requires trust in the process. Often, the path to transformation is not linear. There are twists, turns, and moments of darkness where you may not understand why things are happening the way they are. But Michael assures you that every step is part of a larger plan that is beyond your understanding. The universe is working behind the scenes, orchestrating events and aligning circumstances in your favor. Trusting the process means surrendering your need for control and allowing divine timing to unfold. It requires patience and a willingness to move forward despite the unknowns. When you trust the process, you surrender the weight of trying to figure everything out on your own. Too often, we feel the need to understand every detail before making a move, but Michael urges you to let go of that need. There are mysteries that you will only comprehend when the time is right. The pieces of the puzzle may not make sense now, but they will eventually come together in a way that exceeds your expectations. Michael reassures you that everything you experience, even the challenges, are shaping you for something greater. The lessons, the delays, the seemingly difficult moments, they are all stepping stones on the way to your divine purpose. By trusting that everything is happening as it should, you open yourself to the wisdom that each experience brings. The process of growth is often messy and unpredictable. It's easy to lose hope when things aren't moving as quickly as you'd like, or when you feel that your efforts are not yielding the desired results. However, Michael calls you to stay grounded in faith during these times. Remember that the universe doesn't operate on human timelines. What seems like a delay may be a divine intervention in disguise, preventing you from stepping into something that wasn't meant for you. Trust that the universe's plan for your life is much grander than what you can perceive in this moment. Michael encourages you to keep moving forward with a heart full of trust, even when you cannot yet see the path ahead. You are being guided every step of the way, and every experience, every lesson, is moving you closer to the fulfillment of your divine purpose. Trusting the process means embracing the unknown with open arms. It's not about having all the answers, but about being willing to let go of the need for certainty. Michael teaches us that there is beauty in uncertainty, for it is in the unknown that miracles are born. When you trust the process, you release the pressure to control outcomes and allow the universe to work its magic. Your job is to take the next step, no matter how small, and to keep moving forward with an open heart. The universe has your back, and every experience you encounter is part of your soul's evolution. The full picture will reveal itself when the time is right, but in the meantime, you can rest in a peace that comes from trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. At times, the feeling of discomfort or unease can seem overwhelming, especially when it feels like everything around you is changing. Archangel Michael wants you to understand that these changes are not random, they are divine preparations. Life is not throwing you curveballs for no reason. Instead, every shift, every upheaval, and every new challenge you face is part of a greater preparation for your soul's purpose. Michael reminds you that transformation is often uncomfortable, but it is through these experiences that you are being molded into the person you are meant to be. Don't resist the changes. Instead, embrace them, for they are the universe's way of equipping you with everything you need to fulfill your higher calling. Every moment of growth is bringing you closer to the person you were always meant to become. There are times when it may feel like your world is falling apart, or that your efforts are in vain, but Michael calls on you to see this from a higher perspective. These challenges are actually acts of divine intervention. The changes in your life are not only opportunities for growth, but they are also nudges from the universe guiding you toward a greater, more aligned version of yourself. You are being stripped of things that no longer serve you, whether that be limiting beliefs, toxic relationships, or old patterns. Though this may feel painful in the moment, know that what is being removed is making space for what is meant for you. Every experience, no matter how difficult, is preparing you for something greater. The pieces of your divine puzzle are falling into place, even if you can't yet see the full picture. Michael encourages you to trust the process of change. Just as a butterfly must go through a painful metamorphosis to become its true form, so must you go through your own transformations. There is no growth without discomfort, no progress without change. Each new chapter of your life is designed to strengthen you, to teach you important lessons, and to help you align more deeply with your soul's purpose. Understand that what you are experiencing now is not a setback, but a setup for something much bigger. You may not understand all the reasons why things are happening the way they are, but trust that the universe has a plan for you, and it is guiding you towards something magnificent. Be open to the changes, for they are the stepping stones to the life you were meant to live. The fear of the unknown can often paralyze us, making us resist change or try to hold on to what's familiar. However, Michael invites you to release that fear and embrace the new opportunities that are unfolding before you. The changes in your life are not just coincidences, they are part of a divine orchestration that is preparing you for your greatest purpose. Even though it may seem daunting at first, the changes you are going through are necessary for your personal and spiritual evolution. As you embrace the unknown, you allow yourself to step into a future that is filled with possibilities. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Archangel Michael is by your side, guiding you through the transformation and preparing you for the powerful person you are destined to become. The future that awaits you is beyond your wildest dreams, but it requires you to trust, let go, and embrace the changes that are currently unfolding. Many times, we find ourselves wishing for things to happen sooner. We get frustrated with the pace of progress, or feel as though we are running out of time. Archangel Michael wants you to understand something crucial: divine timing is always at work, and it is never late. The universe moves in its own rhythm, and everything happens when it is meant to. Trusting in this timing is key to finding peace during periods of uncertainty. Instead of rushing ahead, fighting against the flow, or worrying about what's next, allow yourself to surrender to the present moment. Trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This trust is not about inaction, it is about embracing the flow of life without fear or resistance. When you align with divine timing, you unlock the doors to the opportunities that are meant for you. It's easy to fall into the trap of comparing your journey to others, feeling like you are somehow behind or that you are missing out. However, Michael gently reminds you that your path is unique, and no one else's journey can serve as a measure of your own. The timeline that you are on is not the same as anyone else's, and that is perfectly okay. Everyone has their own divine timing, and just because someone else seems to be further along doesn't mean you're lacking in any way. Your life is unfolding in its own time, and each step is part of a grander plan. Trust in the process and release the pressure of comparing yourself to others. The universe has an impeccable timing that will guide you to where you need to be, exactly when you need to be there. Waiting for something can be one of the hardest things to do, especially when you're eager for change or growth. But Michael teaches that the time of waiting is not wasted. Every moment spent in anticipation is an opportunity for reflection, growth, and preparation. Even though it may seem like things are moving slowly or not at all, there is much happening behind the scenes. Trust that the universe is preparing everything in its perfect order, aligning people, situations, and opportunities for you. As you patiently wait, you are being equipped with the strength, clarity, and wisdom needed for the next phase of your journey. Divine timing means that everything will come to fruition when the time is right. So, take a deep breath and trust that the universe is working on your behalf. When you begin to release the need for control and accept the flow of life, you begin to experience a sense of peace and assurance. Know that you are not forgotten. The universe has not overlooked your dreams or desires, they are being carefully orchestrated. Michael wants you to understand that sometimes, what feels like a delay is simply divine preparation. The things you are waiting for need to be aligned, and that takes time. Trust that each day brings you closer to the moment when everything falls into place. Your life is unfolding in a way that will bring you the fulfillment you've always desired, but it requires patience, faith, and above all, trust in divine timing. Rest assured, your time is coming, and it will be everything you've hoped for, and more. In times of uncertainty, when it feels like everything is shifting around you, Archangel Michael reminds you that your greatest strength lies within. You have the power to overcome any obstacle, no matter how daunting it may seem. Strength isn't just about physical endurance or willpower, it's about your inner resilience, your ability to navigate life's challenges with grace and determination. Michael encourages you to tap into that strength, especially now when the world around you may feel unstable or overwhelming. The power to create change, to manifest your dreams, and to transform your life is all contained within you. When you face difficult moments, remember that you already possess the tools you need to move forward. Trust in your inner power, and allow it to guide you through the most challenging situations. You may not always recognize the strength within you because it is quiet, subtle, and often hidden beneath layers of fear or doubt. However, Michael is calling upon you to bring this strength to the surface. Every time you have faced a challenge in the past, you've demonstrated courage, even when you felt unsure. You've made it through every tough moment, and you'll continue to do so. When you align with your inner strength, you connect with your higher self, your spiritual essence, which is infinite in its power. Tap into this well of strength by quieting the noise around you. Take time to listen to your inner voice and trust the wisdom that arises. The more you connect with your inner power, the more you will realize just how capable you truly are. The strength that Archangel Michael speaks of is not about brute force or trying to control everything around you. It is about inner calm, a deep knowing that no matter what happens, you have the capacity to navigate through it. Often, we look for external sources of strength, through people, possessions, or status. But Michael's message is clear: the source of your true power lies within. You can access this power at any moment. In fact, the more you quiet the external distractions and turn inward, the more you will uncover the depth of your own resilience. Imagine yourself as an unshakable mountain, standing firm despite the winds of uncertainty. This is the strength that Michael is calling you to embrace. It's a calm, unwavering power that cannot be easily moved or broken. Now is the time to recognize the vast potential that resides within you and begin to harness it fully. Each challenge you face is an opportunity to tap deeper into this inner strength. Michael asks you to stop doubting yourself. You are not weak, you are capable of extraordinary feats. When you believe in your own power and align with your inner strength, you will begin to see that everything around you starts to change. Situations that once seemed impossible will begin to feel manageable, even easy. The shift in your mindset, from one of limitation to one of possibility, is powerful. By embracing your inner strength, you will step into a new phase of growth, where you no longer allow fear or uncertainty to dictate your actions. You become the creator of your own path, empowered and unshakable in your resolve. Fear can be paralyzing. It holds you back, stops you from taking the necessary steps, and keeps you playing small. But Archangel Michael is here to remind you, fear is just an illusion. It may feel real, but it has no power unless you allow it to. Fear is simply the mind's way of trying to protect you from what it doesn't understand or what it perceives as a threat. However, Michael's message is clear: this is your time to release fear. The opportunities awaiting you are too important to be missed because of fear. It's time to take back control. You have the power to choose whether fear dictates your life or whether you embrace your true potential. The more you step into your power, the less space there is for fear to exist. Fear can't survive in the presence of courage, and now is the time to act with confidence. Letting go of fear doesn't mean that challenges won't arise. It simply means that you now have the inner strength to face them. You can acknowledge fear without letting it control you. Every time you feel fear, take a moment to breathe deeply, center yourself, and then proceed with confidence. Michael urges you to begin small, if necessary. Start by making decisions, even minor ones, without letting fear dictate your choices. The more you practice stepping through fear, the easier it becomes. Eventually, fear will no longer hold any power over you. Instead of avoiding challenges, you will be drawn toward them, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. Fear loses its grip as you reclaim your strength and step into your purpose. Remember, fear is often a reflection of your thoughts and perceptions. It's not always based on reality. Michael invites you to examine the fears that have been holding you back. What is it that you're afraid of? Is it failure? Rejection? The unknown? By confronting these fears, you will begin to realize that they are not as scary as they seem. Often, they are simply a product of past experiences or societal conditioning. When you take a step back and look at your fear objectively, you'll see that it's not a reflection of the truth. The truth is that you are capable, strong, and ready for anything. Fear might arise, but it doesn't define you. You define yourself by how you choose to move forward, despite the fear. Michael assures you that the more you embrace the present moment, the less fear will influence your decisions. Living in the now allows you to connect with your inner strength, your intuition, and your divine guidance. When you're focused on the present, you're not worrying about what might go wrong in the future. You're taking inspired action in the here and now, trusting that everything will unfold as it should. The future may hold uncertainties, but fear will never be able to control you again if you continue to act from a place of trust and courage. Michael wants you to know, fear does not have to stalk you. It's time to rise above it and claim the life you were always meant to live. It can be difficult to trust that everything is happening as it should when things feel uncertain or out of your control. You might wonder why certain things are taking longer than expected, or why your dreams aren't unfolding exactly the way you envisioned. Archangel Michael's message is simple: trust the divine timing. The universe is always working in your favor, even when you don't see the immediate results. Things are falling into place, even if you can't yet see the full picture. Everything that has happened, and everything that will happen, is part of a greater plan. Michael encourages you to take a step back and allow the process to unfold naturally. Let go of the urgency to control the timing, and instead, focus on being present in the moment. Divine timing doesn't mean you're passive. It means you're aligning with the flow of the universe. You still have to take inspired action, but there's an understanding that timing will work out perfectly when it's meant to. There are things that need to align before you can move forward, and those things are happening now. Trust that the doors that need to open for you will open at the right time. You don't need to rush your progress because what's meant for you will never pass you by. Michael's guidance is clear: have faith that the universe knows what it's doing. Keep your mind open to the possibilities and trust that the perfect timing will arrive. The delays or obstacles you're facing are often signs that something better is on the horizon. Sometimes, it can be hard to trust when we don't understand why things aren't happening as quickly as we want them to. But Archangel Michael encourages you to remember that everything is part of your growth. Some lessons are meant to be learned along the way, and the wait is often a time for your energy to shift, for your vibration to rise, and for you to become the person you need to be to receive what is coming. Patience isn't about passivity, it's about active trust. Trust that every moment, every challenge, and every triumph is helping to prepare you for your next step. What you are waiting for is coming, but only when the time is right for you to fully receive it. In this moment, take a deep breath and remind yourself that everything you desire is already on its way to you. The seeds you've planted are beginning to sprout, even if you can't yet see them. Trust that everything is working out in divine order, even if it doesn't look like it on the surface. You are exactly where you need to be right now. Everything that's unfolding is leading you to the next step in your divine purpose. Michael assures you that there are no coincidences. There are no mistakes. You are always guided, always supported. Keep going, keep trusting, and watch as the universe aligns perfectly with your path. The wait won't last forever, the perfect moment is coming soon. You've heard it said before, change is the only constant. But Archangel Michael wants to remind you that change isn't something to fear. It's a powerful force that brings transformation, renewal, and growth. And you are ready for it. The person you've been becoming is someone capable of handling the next phase of your journey. Trust in the immense power that already exists within you. You've overcome challenges in the past, and each victory has shaped you into the strong, resilient person you are now. You are not the same person you once were, and you are ready for the next chapter in your life. Michael encourages you to stand tall and embrace the power that lies dormant within. This is your time to shine. When the time to act comes, many people hesitate, doubting their abilities or questioning if they're truly ready for the change. But Archangel Michael says to you today, you have everything you need to succeed within you already. Your strength, your wisdom, your resilience, it's all part of you. Embrace the lessons you've learned and the person you've become, and step into the new opportunities that are calling you. Transformation can be uncomfortable at first, but it is necessary for your soul's evolution. Whether it's starting a new career, letting go of old habits, or embracing a new chapter in your personal life, you are equipped with everything needed to succeed. Trust that the universe has prepared you for this moment. Your inner strength is far greater than you realize. Michael reminds you that you are never alone during your transformation. The divine energy flows through you, guiding and supporting you every step of the way. Even when things seem difficult or uncertain, remember that you have the power within you to overcome any obstacle. The strength you need to navigate through life's challenges isn't found outside of yourself, it's already inside you, waiting to be tapped into. Trust that as you embrace change, the universe will align with your efforts, helping you to move forward and create the life you've always dreamed of. Your readiness to evolve will attract everything you need in your journey. As you move forward with this transformation, remember that every step is a part of your spiritual growth. Your soul is evolving, expanding, and becoming more attuned to your higher purpose. You may not see the full picture yet, but you are exactly where you need to be. Every action you take from here on out will help you unlock even more of your divine potential. Michael wants you to know that you are always supported by a higher power. Even in moments of uncertainty, your divine self is guiding you. Keep moving forward, trusting in your transformation, and knowing that you are fully capable of stepping into this new version of yourself. The world needs the light you are about to share with it,